Hello everybody, GL1 here. Welcome to my online toy museum, and today I'm going to talk about Dino Fury Power Rangers. So I'm going to start with some of the Ranger toys. Really all I ever care about is the Zords, because I just like robots. But what happens, as usual, is when the price on something that looks pretty cool goes low enough, I'm like, oh, I'll try that. So yesterday, this for $5, the Cosmic Armor Green Ranger. And the Green Ranger, as far as I always saw, was male. So I thought that was unique. So now we have a female Green Ranger. Pretty cool. And $5, not bad. So this is what she looks like. And, you know, I think when this was originally priced, it's around $12 or $10. And pretty good articulation even for that. I mean, you have the gap, in the leg, and so it's not as, specific as made to look perfect as some of the more expensive, like $20 figures. But, you have those like Dragon Ball Z type elbows that came out along. Well, Dragon Ball Z, I don't know if they started it, but that's when I noticed it, as Dragon Ball Z would come out with elbows that also turn like that, which if you're not going to make the wrist turn, it gives you quite a bit of articulation. And you got the shoulder. And what's nice even is the head can go up and down, so you can really give it some expressiveness. You don't have a waist that turns, but you have nice paint on the shoulder armor dinosaurs, and you have a dino sword. So, I got these stands, so they stand better, from a wrestling website, actually. And this comes with this key. Now, you're supposed to plug this in to this thing, which I've seen in various places, unlock sounds. I don't really care to do that. But so anyway, it comes with this key, but also it can be a head on a Zord, which is pretty cool. Now, the thing about the key is how it's going to tell this device here to know what sounds to make is you'll see these little divots here. So it's got one on the left and two missing slots. All right, so we'll see the difference on that. So this one you may have seen in another show. I love this. This is like the Pink Power Ranger having Hulk hands. And she's got a couple of different dinosaurs on her shoulders. And she's just so cool with those Hulk hands. And so, again, the expressiveness of the head. Ringside Collectibles, that's where I got those stands. And and then of course she has pink head, so, and it has, the armor like knight's armor over the eyes, and see the divots at the bottom? So her head there is missing that first divot and then has two there, so that tells the device that, it's this voice group of sounds. And then I also got this guy recently. So this is the Blue Ranger, and here's the box for that. And what's cool about him is that he's got Triceratops swords, right? Two swords. And then if you look at the head that comes with him, oh, look, see, even his helmet is like a Triceratops, right? So you got the three horns. So really cool there. And they all have the one arm that's silver, so that's neat. But now, so actually he's going to make the same sounds as the Green Ranger, okay? And you can see the faces are different because, see, the divot is the same, all right? Well, then there was this Purple Void Knight, which I thought was good because he looks like a Power Ranger, but reading upon him, apparently he's one of the antagonists. But he's really cool. And look, he has a dinosaur sword too, so I don't know. I don't watch the shows. I can't get through them. They're really difficult to watch to me. But, I get maybe he was a Power Ranger that went rogue or something. But anyhow, he looks really cool. And he's got, look, on his divots, he's got all three active. So that makes a cool head too. You could see it's it looks like a carnivorous dinosaur with a little bit of a horn on the front of the head. And actually, if we compare that, you see to the blue, you see how it has no teeth, but similar head. Although he's got the it's a Triceratops, so of course it's not a carnivore. So okay, and then I have Boom Tower, which sounds like the name of one of the characters in Police Academy. I think there might have been a guy called Boom Tower. There's a movie, I'm pretty sure, if that wasn't it. But he's really neat. He came with one of these too, and I don't know where I misplaced it. But I thought what was cool about him is he looks like a little castle. His armor is like a castle. So I thought, well, that's a cool character to have. Now, he doesn't have his hips just go forward and back. They don't have any lateral motion. But you got these little, building-looking armor up at the top of the shoulder, and I've never seen that before. Big, heavy sword, and again, you have it's sort of like bricks. So he's pretty cool, and also around the face, right? The armor looks like a building. And then the Void King, which, as far as I can figure out, the Void Knight here, this purple Void Knight, later becomes the Void King. So here's the Void King, and it comes with one of these keys, all three, just like the Void Knight, but on the back there's nothing. It is void of anything. Whereas if you look on the back of these, they all have a picture, shiny sticker, of the various knight. So here he is, the Void King, so I guess he's upgraded. And he's got puffy forearms, much like Jerry Seinfeld's puffy shirt. And this thing comes off. Actually, see, it comes that way. And then you take this squiddy-looking thing and put that on, his squid crown. And then he's, got all these little extensions on his, skirt there. And, and he's got good articulation. And a couple of double swords, so that's pretty cool too. All right, so we got through the Rangers, but what it really matters is the Zords. So I'm going to get my Zords. Okay, so I'm going to start with the smaller Zords first. So you'd buy a Zord package, and this is one of the Megazords that it makes when you combine a couple of them together. And it's got this soft plastic here and soft there. Well, so this is combining two different Zord concepts. It's combining this, which is, I guess the closest thing is in keeping with the theme of Power Rangers with their, the 5 combined. This might sort of be like their Mastodon, because the Mastodon is usually black. So I don't know what dinosaur this is meant to be. Sort of like an ankylosaur, but it has a horn on the front. It's got spikes on the back. In any case, it's the same colors as the Mastodon, the black and gold and silver. And then you have here the Triceratops, right? And it's got a big, front blade, which can become a sword, and look, even the head turns a little bit, which is pretty neat. And then you have these soft spikes here, and then you can combine. It comes with extra pieces, and then you can combine everything into this, as you see here. So it's it doesn't really roll, but it's mobile. And what's really great about the Dino Fury Zords, they did something very much like a Lego, right? So it's you can combine them in all different kinds of combinations, and they have the divots and the plugs, and they just snap together. And some of them snap with more difficulty than others, which is great because some of them snap on and really stay on. And you can actually use, sometimes you can, you'll have a piece where it's 2 divots on one side and 2 on the other, and you can stick it between them to hold 2 different pieces together with more force. So that's just really great that it gives you that option. Because there are the Megazords that combine together, which I've shown you none, I think, in any of my shows, and I have a bunch of them. So that'll be coming up eventually. Those are from the 2000s, and all the combiner Zords you can make in all kinds of ways, but they fall apart really easily. These are a smaller scale, but they stay together really well. So, it's got all kinds of spikes and details on it. So, and in fact here, this becomes handles. So for a big fist. So I'll show you how that works later. All right, so then we have this. Again, this is probably really the ankylosaur. So that looks like an ankylosaur head, okay? And then it has, the ankylosaur has the tail to be hitting things with, so I'm sure this is the ankylosaurus and the pink ranger. And then, it comes with these. I just decided I could put them here. And I like symmetry, so they're symmetrical. And you could pretend these are jets and it blasts off, right? And, of course, what dinosaur wouldn't be complete with something that is not a dinosaur? Power Rangers loves to put in prehistoric mammals like a mastodon or mammoth, and in this case, a saber-toothed tiger. So you have a saber-toothed tiger, which is probably 30 million years away from dinosaurs. There were no dinosaurs when the saber-toothed tiger was around, but who doesn't love saber-toothed tigers? So this one has a little bit of articulation, and things come apart. So the head comes off, and you can stick that head somewhere else if you want. You can see, look, it even has springs. You see the spring inside there? So it gives it a little bit of that click ratchet effect, which is nice. And the shoulders pieces come off. So you can put those, you can make these into knee coverings on a taller Zord. And then this, the tail, this is one of the coolest things, opens up and becomes like a chest shield. Take a look at that. So, and I'll show you how that can work. Now, these also came with heads, different heads. So, with keys, you can see the little key divots. But the heads are different than the ones that come with the action figures. These actually can turn. So, that's, and there's nothing on the back except detail. So, and I'll show you. What you get here, see, you just get a flat back with a picture of the action figure, and the head doesn't turn. So with this, you get more detail and the head turns. So that's cool. Although the purple one, that's a really cool head. It looks really good on one of the action figures. So yeah, here's the green one. All right. And then the pink one, and you can see how the armor over the eyes is different. So this is better, right? It's painted. And you can see they have the same divots, so if you put it in that sound-making device, you're going to get the same sounds. And then the black head, which is really cool too, right? And you get the, upgraded paint and everything. So that's great. All right, well, let's get to the big Zords. All right, so the first set, actually, this is one of the first sets to come out. And then the other first set is, of course, the Red Ranger, which I do not have one of the Red Ranger action figures from Dino Fury. I get tired of the Red Ranger, really. They come out with, it's like everything's Red Ranger all the time. But again, if I see one and the price is good, I'll probably get it. So here comes the big red Zord. And of course, it's a T-Rex, right? So it's really cool. You have a big T-Rex mouth, and that comes off. And so you can change all this around, and it reorients into a T-Rex. So that's what's great about this is it's actually not that hard to transform, and it's easy to make it into all different kinds of transformations. Here is a tail that can become a sword, okay? And then you can stick on even bigger arms, bigger hands, and, you can put the sword in there or just stick it. What's nice about the one that came with the dinosaur is that the wrist swivels, and the wrist doesn't swivel on this. So, and this is a little bit of like a softer plastic, so it helps grip better. All right. And then you have your guns for your shoulders if you want. And this green piece came with this. And you can change the head if you want. So you pull the head out. And let's say you want to put the Green Ranger head. The Green Ranger's taken over. So there, now you have a green head, and then that matches. And if you want, you can take the dino head off. Take this chest piece here, right? Off the tail. And then snap that on. Look, and the Green Ranger's just taken over. He's just, taking ownership of this, but he's not done. No, see, so now he wants to have green knee covers. Oh, sometimes these things, they come apart. I haven't decided whether I should glue them, but sometimes it separates. It's easy to put them back together, but I don't know if it's really that much of a problem. I'm still debating on whether I should glue that. I would use a plastics glue. There's a really good plastics glue from Loctite. It's a two-part. You put on a primer on one side, and then you put the glue on the other, and then connect them together. And they fuse permanently, let me tell you. All right, so look, now he's like really Green Rangered up. And you have really good ankle articulation on this action figure. And click joint, and it doesn't fall apart easily. And again, that's really nice because the Power Rangers Zords that go together often fall apart really easily. And you can do just all kinds of things. You can take things apart and rearrange them. See, that can come off, and you could stick something else there. And then this piece, I decided I would just put that here because, just to put it somewhere. Now, this is an example of what I was talking about. This piece here, you see, you have the divots. They're pretty much lined up, but not exactly, but enough so that this will grab it, and then you can snap that on, and then that gives it greater strength to hold that second fist on if you want. So that is the Red Ranger Zord, and I will transform that into the T-Rex and show you that. But before I do that, let me show you the other cool Zord. Now there's 5 or so of these, and there is one that's like Ice Dinosaur. I like it in the robot mode. I don't like it in any other mode, so I haven't bought it because I just don't think it's worth it. There's another one that's really cool that's like $89, and that is a Spinosaurus. But I'm not going to get that. That's too much. And then there's a Dometrodon, I believe, is what it's supposed to be. It looks like a mess. It looks like it has good pieces, but as far as being a Zord, it looks messy. So, again, if these things end up in like a Burlington Coat Factory or something for $6, I'll get it so that I can use the pieces, because I probably won't. I don't like them really in the Dino mode. I would like the Spinosaurus one, though. That's pretty cool. But I'm not spending $90 on that. All right, so take a look at this fella here. So this is you can see if you take the head out, it comes with a really cool head. So this is a Mosasaur. And look, divots in the middle on that one. That's the only one with the divot in the middle. And then you can turn that sideways, and you can see that's a Mosasaurus, which was made popular by Jurassic Park. And a Mosasaurus is an aquatic reptile. It is not a dinosaur, technically. So, not all reptiles from that era are dinosaurs. So, like, you wouldn't say that a turtle, which is a reptile, is an alligator, which is a reptile, right? They're different, but they're both reptiles. So you have aquatic reptiles. You had crocodilians and various types during the dinosaur era, but they're not the same as dinosaurs. So, just saying. All right, so this, you can add parts on this guy too. And you see I had that other piece that I added on the red one. I just put it on this guy. I just try to add the pieces too so it's easier to find them. Because if you have a bag somewhere of pieces, you end up forgetting where the bag is. I mean, you could put it in a drawer, and then you maybe forget you put it in the drawer. It's just a whole thing, You got to organize everything. So it's easier if you could just stick everything on. But here you go. He's got the little arms, right? So you can make that into a different kind of dinosaur. All right. So this is just, I think you find it to be really cool. And then if you want to change the head, right? You can say, oh, okay, look, we stick a blue head on. That goes with it, right? So now it's just got a blue head, and he's blue all together. So it goes pretty well. And if you want, you know what else goes well is the blackhead, right? So look, now he's the Dark Mosasaur Zord, right? So he is, dark, like Darth Vader. All right, I'm going to transform the T-Rex one and show you how that looks. All right, so here he is in T-Rex form. So what you do is you turn the feet around the other way, and then you turn the torso. This whole torso turns. Actually, you can, and move the arms down. It actually comes apart. You can just turn it like, robot mode, and then it would be in T-Rex mode. And what T-Rex wouldn't be great if it couldn't bite? So the mouth opens and closes, so you can have it bite. And you have you turn the fists around, turn the hands around, and now you have extra guns. So he has shoulder guns. You can stick these shoulder guns or keep them on in this case. And you can turn the hands around backwards, so it's not so obvious with the hands. And then you take the tail, which I had on the back, and then you just stick it here, and now he has a tail. And you can put all kinds of other things you want. If you wanted to add another set of guns or something like that. Or you can even just combine other Zords on there, so he's carrying everybody around or something like that, right? So there's all kinds of options you can do with this guy, all right, in T-Rex mode. And I guess you could even put a Ranger on him so she could ride on top of the T-Rex. Right, so you can do that. A lot of colors, right? It's a lot going on. All right, so there's that. All right, and I will transform the Mosasaur for you. All right, so here we go, the Mosasaur, or the Mosasaur Zord. And look, he's got little hands to sort of pull himself along the bottom of the water. And so it's quite a big Zord, big gaping mouth, right, to catch prey. And it even has Ammonite Zords, a couple of those that become the hands, the ancient Ammonites, and in some of the other sets of Power Rangers Zords, there's actually a big Ammonite Zord that you push a button and it spools off like a wheel. So I have that too. And that goes to the Build-A-Zord set, which is different than this kind. So it's like the ones that click together and fall apart easily, but it's really cool. They came out with a lot of specialized pieces and things, and you can arrange it differently. Maybe these were supposed to go on the back, actually, now that I look at it. But that's the thing about this, is you can arrange things however you want. You could put something on the ends of that if you wanted. Maybe if you had you could put other kinds of weapons on there. You can figure out a way to put, let's say, something like that, and then have that down, and then now he's got like spiky pieces, and then he would probably do better up against like Godzilla or something like that. You can put a gun, some kind of laser weapon on there, right? So there's just all kinds of ways that you can play with these and arrange them, and that's really just a fantastic system of how to play with Megazords that didn't exist in the past, because the way they, before is they just go together a couple of different ways. They, you either play with it as a dinosaur or something like that, or a car, and then it would, form into a Zord, and then it would form into a Megazord, and that was it. But these, you can really build your own Zord. You can combine, actually, I have combined all of these together to form one big gigantic Zord. So you can do that. It's a little unwieldy because it gets kind of heavy, but there's ways to just, do all kinds of, machinations that your imagination will let you roam with. And that's what's great about these toys is, the ability to make your own toys and stay occupied playing, setting them up differently and coming up with different ideas. And sometimes it's better to actually have limitations in what you can do, because then it makes you have to think harder on what kinds of toys you can make up next, because they won't do everything that you want. So, all right, Dino Fury Zords, and hopefully in the future I will be having more and I can show you more of those. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.